Right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, happy Thursday. It is 12:39 on my side of the world. I don't know what time it is on your side of the world. I don't know, maybe it's 12 o'clock somewhere. You ever hear people say it's 5 o'clock somewhere? Well, maybe it's 12 o'clock somewhere. I know. For all of you that are coming on right now, my apologies to you. I sincerely apologize. But I was in such a deep dive with one of our coaching clients while we were walking them through their initial one-on-one coaching session. I take those one-on-one coaching sessions so seriously. And we were in such a deep dive. We had gotten so deep into building out this amazing legacy and infrastructure for them. I just couldn't pull out of it. And some of you who are in the business consulting world, you're in the business coaching world, or you're consulting and coaching in other areas, you know exactly what I mean when I say that. So thank all of you for your patience. If you're just jumping on, it is definitely later than expected. We would typically come on at 12 o'clock noon. But guess what? We're here. So thank you for taking a few moments to join me today. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. I am your host, Ramonepreston, and every Monday through Friday, even when I am late or if there's a different exception to the rule, we typically come on Monday through Friday at 12 noon. And we share information with you that is strategically and specifically designed to help you properly start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, and your income streams and wealth building dreams. And so this week, we've been talking a lot about this business mastermind. Last Saturday, I hosted a business mastermind. And it was absolutely spectacular. It was spectacular. We were able to cover a lot of different topics, coaching mastermind, that I think could be beneficial for so many of you who are looking to increase your income. You're looking to build your businesses. You're looking to do some great things in your life, and you just need some. You need some direction. You need some support. You need some wisdom. And so we've just been going back, revisiting some of the key things that we talked about during our mastermind. So if you've been following me this week, Monday we talked about goal setting. We talked about goal setting and how important it is for you to have a dream with a plan. Tuesday we talked about scheduling. And so we showed you how you take your goals and you connect them to your daily schedules, and you fill your white space up, because your goals are going to fuel your schedule. In other words, if you're not focused through the course of a day, if you got too much white space throughout the course of a day, it's not because you're distracted today. It's because you didn't set the right goal yesterday. So we talked about goals Monday, scheduling Tuesday, and yesterday we talked about structure. And I explained to you why it is important for you to start the right way first. Meaning that if you're starting a business, you want your first business to be a holding company. And your holding company may not necessarily be your operating company. Meaning that if you have a certain business you want to operate with a service, you want to operate with a product, you want to sell things, you want to get out there and grind and hustle through this operating business, maybe it will require you to separate your operating LLC, for example, from your holding company LLC. But this is a part of the structure side of you building a legitimate, sustainable business. I use this diagram that we've created to show you how important a holding company concept is. This diagram is actually one of the easiest ways for me to explain this whole concept and all the moving parts that are built into it. This is one of the reasons why we call it a matrix. It is an SMS matrix, meaning that it reflects the structure, which is a world in and of itself, and the sales, a world in and of itself. And so yesterday we talked about the structure. Today I want to talk a little bit about the systems, okay? Because some of you may not know this, but when you get your EIN number, when you get your LLC articles of organization, or you get your incorporation paperwork, all right, your articles of incorporation, and you go open up a bank account, it really doesn't mean you have a business system. It just means you have a legal entity. It means that you own a legal entity. And so a lot of people, they get the structure part right, meaning that they may have a LLC. They may have an operating LLC. They may have a holding company LLC. They may even understand the basic fundamentals of, okay, I can go file for LLC. I could get my EIN. I could start it. I can open up a bank account. But there's a concept behind that, meaning that there are a whole lot of moving parts in that concept that you have to learn to understand. This is one reason why I do a lot of educating and training people, because even if you learn the nuts and bolts of how to file paperwork and form a legitimate legal entity, it doesn't mean you understand the concept of a holding company and how this world of systems should work, okay? And so I want to make sure that you understand that. So today I want to talk a little bit about the system part of this matrix. All right. So let's just assume you are at the top of the mountain, right? You always want to be at the top of the mountain. We want to talk about the system side of this whole concept. You're at the top of the mountain. Now, if you're at the top of the mountain, we talked about it yesterday, your holding company should be the company or the mountaintop that you're standing on. All right. So if you have an operating business, if there's some product or service that you want to sell, and you know you have a business that you want to build that product or service around, if that business is risky, if it's volatile, if it carries a high level of liability, you may not want to operate that business in your holding company, okay? So especially if it's like risky, like real estate or other areas that you don't want to expose your holding company, when you can just start another LLC under that holding company and use that LLC as an operating company. But again, when you do that, or if you do that, you're gonna get out of just the structure layer and you're gonna have to move into the what? The system layer. So back to my initial statement. You may have a legal entity that you filed, you formed, you have a bank account, you have an EIN, you got your LLC certificate, but it doesn't mean that legal entity is a business system. So when I hear people say, oh, I own a business, my first question to myself, if I'm not talking to them, if I just hear them saying it, my first question is a lot of times, okay, if you own a business, do you actually own a business system? And if you own a business system, that means you understand that there are other systems, there are other components that need to be integrated into the LLC, into the legal entity in order to make that thing work. Now, two of the most important systems within that system are marketing systems and sales systems. But I personally believe, and I have proof to show that I'm right about this, I believe that among the other systems, which I categorize to be systems within that structure, the marketing and the sales should be built into how you build the infrastructure. I hope I'm making sense with that statement. So for example, I talk about the 5 corporate systems, right? This is something that I talk about in our masterminds and workshops, and I even have information in our blueprint about it. So let's just say we have 5 corporate systems, okay? We have the executive system, that's for the CEO. We have the sales systems. That's for the sales. We see that up there. We have the marketing system. We have the financial systems. And then we have the operation system. So you have the CEO, the CSO, the CMO, the CFO, and the COO. Now, I don't have the COO, operations system, the CFO, financial systems, and the CEO, executive systems. I don't have those three systems here anywhere in words, but those other three systems are actually built into the infrastructure of this diagram. They're actually built into it. But some of those systems you don't necessarily see until you get down into the day-to-day operations of your business. So let me give you an example. Okay, we have the CEO, the executive system. Well, most of the time, that executive system is going to be centered around the CEO, meaning that the CEO may need an assistant. The CEO may need certain things in order to function in their full capacity. Well, the reason why we're not making that a big deal up here at the onset of building an infrastructure, because most of the time you as the CEO, you're going to be the salesperson, the marketer, you're going to be the financial person, the accountant, and you're going to be the operation officer. You're going to be all the above. There was a time I was all five. I was the CEO, I was the salesperson, and I'm still the salesperson and CEO. Marketer, you're the financial accountant, you're keeping your own books, and you're building your own policies and procedures and your operations. You running the day-to-day operations of it. So that's built into the infrastructure, correct? So even with the financial systems, let's say with accounting and QuickBooks, that's going to be important when you're building it out. But I'm telling you, it's not as important as you building an infrastructure that actually reflects structure, marketing, and sales. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you build a business infrastructure that highlights or reflects how it's structured, how it's marketed, and how you sell, or how you're going to create sales, how you're going to build a funnel and a pipeline. If you build an infrastructure like that, let me tell you what you're going to find. You're going to find out that it's easier to be the CEO. It's easier to hire people in your executive office suite as the CEO. It's going to be easier to keep your accounting and learn QuickBooks and have a bookkeeper. You know why? Because you're actually making money. So you're not going to hire people as a CEO. You're not going to keep your QuickBooks or accounting and track your income and expenses. And you're not going to have operational policies and procedures and day-to-day activities with staff and with volunteers or with vendors if you're not making sales. See, sales is a top line issue. That's why I add those three. And see, a lot of people can't wrap their mind around that, because when they get ready to file their paperwork to get their EIN, form their LLC, go open up a bank account, most of the time they don't have marketing and sales in mind. Most of the time they don't have infrastructure in mind. Meaning that they're going to go start a business based on the industry that they're providing a product or service in. They're not going to start a holding company and figure out, how can I, number one, position myself as an expert in my niche in the market to make my product and service better, or to create a perceived value that it's better. It's going to be very difficult for you to do that. They don't think about, how am I going to introduce myself, my products, and my services to the market? Meaning that when I build this business system, I have to think about the business itself, right? The entity. But I also have to think about the brand. How am I going to be known and remembered and understood in the market? But then you got to think about the brand ambassador. Who or what is going to be at the top of this mountain, and who or what is going to be positioned in the marketplace? Like, for example, when you think about Geico, you don't think about a human being. Because the business called Geico has created a brand, hasn't it? Geico is like a business and a brand. But think about the brand ambassador of Geico. Is it a person? It's a lizard. It's a Geico lizard. But they had to think that through up here. Not way down here trying to sign an insurance policy with somebody. Because their commercials would have been affected down here if they didn't have that understood. How they penetrate the market, how their insurance agents make sales, all of those things would have been affected had they not understood the business, the brand, and the brand ambassador on this level. So that's why I said, for all of you that are starting businesses, or you might be resetting and restructuring your businesses, you got to think about things like this matrix. You got to think about things like this matrix. Now, we're blessed to have a community of people who are starting to learn the lingo and the language and the nuances of what I teach and talk about on a regular basis. If for some reason what I'm saying is kind of foreign, you're not really familiar with it, I want you to really get into our ecosystem. I want you to really start learning the lingo and the language and gathering this information. And sometimes just being on social media and getting it on the show for a couple minutes, it ain't gonna be long today, but for the most part, getting it for an hour Monday through Friday, it might not be enough. It might not be enough. You may need to be in that coaching program. You may need to be on that blueprint game plan to start learning it and going through those hours and hours of training sessions and workshops and masterminds and courses just to get really, really, really familiar with this. Listen, if any of you have any questions on structure, if you have any questions on the systems, I want you to really reach out to me and let me know. I have a few more minutes. I apologize that I wasn't on at 12. I know we only have about 20 or 30 minutes that we were going to be able to be on here, because I have a day ahead of me and we got a lot of things that we need to get done here at the headquarters. But I wanted to at least come on and talk a little bit about the systems. So when we say systems, I'm not just talking about marketing and sales. I know that there are 3 other corporate systems that I teach about: operations, financial systems, and executive systems for the COO, CFO, and for the CEO. But I want you to see the system side of the structure means that you have to take into consideration when you're starting your holding company. And when your holding company starts an operating company or multiple operating companies, you have to decide. And that's kind of like a question that you can pull from that statement. The statement is, position yourself as an expert in your niche in the marketplace. So the question to you would be this: how are you going to position yourself in the marketplace? Are you going to position yourself in the marketplace as the person who sells that product, as the person who provides that service, or are you going to position yourself in the marketplace as the expert who shares a lot of information about that product or that service, who happens to own a division that sells that product or service? So positioning yourself in the market is by far one of the biggest aspects of the system side of this matrix. You got to be able to position yourself, and that's gonna have a lot to do with the system. That's gonna have a lot to do with the system that you're gonna use. What is your system for that? Okay, what is going to be your marketing system? What is going to be your sales system? Because if you don't understand it in that diagram, how you structure your business, most likely, if you have a certain product or service that you're selling, based on this infrastructure, that product and service may be down here in the valley. It may not be up here on the mountaintop. So now you down here banging and banging. We went through this scenario yesterday with 2 clients. They have products and services that they're pushing out here at the bottom when it comes to this structure diagram. So we had to show them, you keep pushing them products and services. You keep them in the market. But you also, I was downloading something, and it finished. That's funny. It finished right when it closed me out. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, not now. Yeah, I was downloading some information and it just kicked me out. Where is it? Bada bing, bada boom. Come on, somebody. Do I have it on here? I don't know. Say what now? I know, there it is. Bing. There you go. So, excuse me, I'm sorry for breathing so heavily. I'm like, so anyway, they were pushing products and services, but I showed them that you need to position yourself as an expert in the market. You need to be the person who can provide information on that. And that's marketing and sales together. Because if you have, let's say, a $50 product that you're selling, well, in the business model of this infrastructure, that $50 product may be way down here in the valley, right? But it's only so much you can do to try to push and sell that $50 product. But one thing that you can do is build an infrastructure with a system that's made up of systems that positions you in the marketplace as a mountaintop expert. So that now, when you are talking about things related to that $50 product, you are actually adding more value because you're explaining to me information about a $50 product, even if I don't buy the $50 product. So I'm gonna value you more in the market as an expert up here on the mountaintop than I would if you were just a $50 product person trying to sell me a $50 product. And then once I hear you enough talking about this $50 product and the industry of that $50 product and the advantages of the $50 product and the disadvantages of the $50 product and how $30 products are not better than $50 products and some $60 products are not better than $50 products. You've given me so much value and information when I ask you, hey, where do I go to get that $50 product? And then you say, oh, by the way, I have a company that sells what? $50 products. I told you I'm gonna get y'all some podcast mics because the squad be right there with me. So when I tell you, hey, by the way, I'm the guy, I'm the gal, we're the people who sell $50 products. Want me to send you over to that department? Have you ever been on the phone with certain companies and you're talking to a person and they're like a rep and then you bring up a certain topic or area and they're like, oh, we have to transfer you over to the expert. Yeah. And the expert is like down the like 3 chairs down. Literally. You worked in the call center before, haven't you? Yes. They all in the same room. I mean, you got people in other rooms, but y'all be jumping phones. You be like, let me put you on mute for, let me put you on hold for a minute. You put them on hold. Could you get line 1323? Yeah, tell them you're the manager. They lying and all. Hi, my name is Ramonepreston. I'm the consulting expert here. And you right in the other room. Like, y'all capping. Point is, you have to position yourself in the market as such. So the system, we're using the word system today to reflect and to refer to, number one, a system, a ecosystem. Some type of operation up here, some type of movement up here that's made up of certain parts. The 2 most important parts should be what? Marketing and sales. So when you're building your business, you're in the process of saying, okay, I'm getting ready to launch my products and services. I'm getting ready to get my logo. I'm getting ready to get my website, my domain. I'm getting ready to hire somebody to do my shirts and my cards. What you should be thinking about before you spend all that money on that stuff is, does my main system position me in the market the right way so that I'm not hitting a brick wall when I'm trying to sell this $99 product, or when I'm trying to sell this $200 service, or when I'm trying to sell this $25 t-shirt? You gotta think about that. I have products all the way from free to thousands of $1,000 And guess what? I'm not going to position myself in the market as the for free guy. I'm not going to position myself in the market as the $9.99 book guy or the $29.99 guy. Those are going to be opportunities for me to create moments of traffic and acceleration in that ecosystem. But the way I position myself in the market is going to be central to who I want to be on the mountaintop and how I want the marketplace generally to understand me. And I want that message to be clear. So when you get into the ecosystem of all those things you see right here, when you get into this ecosystem, right, I'm going to introduce myself from the mountaintop. Once I bring you to the world of Ramonepreston Enterprises, then you're going to find out, oh, Ramonepreston has a $9 book, a free ebook. He's got workshops, seminars. He's got real estate. He's got coaching, consulting. He's got training courses. He's got webinars. He's got coaching calls. He's got all kind of stuff. But I didn't position myself in the market with those 800 things because I don't want to create more confusion than is already existing in the market, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to have to end there. It's going to be early, but I wanted to give you enough to make you think and to keep you in the conversation that we're having this week. Tomorrow, I will end it, and what I would probably do tomorrow is take a few moments to share with you how important the marketing and the sales is within these other layers of this matrix. Because there's a certain way you want to position yourself in the market so that how you position yourself, it actually becomes a built-in sales funnel. It becomes a built-in pipeline, and you're able to filter your leads, you're able to filter your prospects, you're able to filter your relationships. You're able to filter them in a very sophisticated yet simple, systematic way. All right? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Now, for those of you that might still not be able to wrap your mind around what I'm talking about, we're actually going to be ending our one-year business coaching program as it is. Within the next few months, most likely it's going to end. So a couple months from now, and y'all know how I am. Some of y'all know me. I'm saying a couple months, and next week you may come on a live show and realize, oh wow, he ain't even talking about the coaching program no more. He's on to something else. Well, once we do our due diligence with certain products and services and programs, and we know we have hit the pocket that we wanted to hit, and we've satisfied the client base that we wanted to satisfy, we're going to pivot. It's the natural evolution of business. We're going to pivot. We're not going to stay stuck in a model that worked a year ago or that worked for who it needed to work for, and now we're not going to move. We're going to move. And so for those of you that would like to be a part of our one-year business coaching program, you're getting so many benefits out of this one-year business coaching program. I promise you, we already have people telling us right now that like your coaching program is just full of so many benefits. We don't even see why you're charging the way you're charging, why your prices are so low. So we have a $5,000 one-year business coaching program. So you pay $5,000 for access to a ton of training, a ton of coaching, a ton of mentoring, a ton of support for your business and for your finances for an entire year. We do offer, ladies and gentlemen, a payment plan. So if you would like to know more about our one-year business coaching program and you would like to know about our payment plan options that we provide, all you have to do is text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. That number is in the comments. Feel free to take that number and text 404-478-7213. Well, Ramon, what if I join your one-year business coaching program and I don't have a business and I don't know where I'm going? I don't know if I'm coming. Well, guess what? We're going to show you how to properly start, structure, and scale your business. Even if it's a business that you are not ready to move into today, you still need to be educated and trained and coached into knowing how to properly start and structure it so that when you do move into it, you can properly scale it. And so this one-year business coaching program begins with an initial one-on-one coaching call. We take about 2 hours in this initial coaching call, and we walk you through the process of identifying with your goals for your business, for your personal, professional, financial life. We help you develop a game plan, meaning that we're going to identify with what type of structure do you need? What type of systems do you have to integrate into that structure? Do you need a holding company, divisions, and 1 or 2 operating LLCs, or can you do everything within the holding company? We go through that process and put that game plan together. Do you need to work on financial systems? Do you need to work on marketing systems, sales systems, or all of the above? Once we put that game plan together, then we put you on our 52-week coaching track, meaning that you have access to our live Zoom coaching calls every Monday at 5 p.m. I'm dumping game, information, training in these live Zoom coaching calls, and we have a Q&A. You can ask questions if you're dealing with something throughout that day or that week. Every 7 days, you can jump on that live and you can hear some good information and you can ask questions. Anytime you're not able to make the live, you can always log into your dashboard on our university platform, and guess what? You get access to the recording of that previous and the other previous live Zoom coaching calls. We also give you access to 4 quarterly group coaching masterminds. So every quarter, we come together as a coaching community and we take about 4 hours in person or virtual, however you want to attend, and we do a deep dive on a lot of important topics like how to craft your message, your statement of purpose. That's what we went through this past Saturday. A lot of what I've been talking about this week, we went through in our mastermind. And you should have heard some of the people leaving that business coaching mastermind. If you ask them, what is your business name? They'll tell you their business name. What is your role in your business? They'll tell you their role. What is your statement of purpose? They'll tell you their statement of purpose. What are the services you provide? What are the products you provide? Many of them went all the way down that list to know what their prices were, who the demographic of people that they're reaching out to, who their perfect client was. Well, we'll address all those things in those masterminds. You also get access to quarterly workshops. Those workshops alone are tailored to train you on the nuts and bolts of the pillars of business, sales. We help you put a sales process together and a program for your company. Marketing, we help you put a program and process for marketing together. Holding company, divisions, subsidiaries, we show you how to become a real asset manager of a holding company. And then financial systems, we walk you through the process of accounting, tax strategies, forecasting, your tax liabilities, how to take advantage of that system in your accounting system. We even walk you through how to configure QuickBooks. There's nothing you're not going to learn to have a successful business system in this one-year business coaching program. And to top all that off, guess what? We give you access to our Blueprint Game Plan, which is our university training program. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos, forms, documents, links, so much information in that Blueprint Game Plan. You won't even be able to finish that blueprint in a year. There's no way you're going to finish it in a year. You can start from course 1 and go all the way to the end. Most likely it's going to take you longer than a year to go through it. And by the time you get finished with the 1-year access, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have a whole lot of new courses on there, a whole lot of new programs. We're always adding new content to it on a regular basis. So you get access to all that for 1 year. So I want you to text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. And if there are any questions you have, we can answer those questions during that initial phone call. Comments. What are some of the comments?
So some of them were, a little, when you was earlier, a little better is better than none. And then he said most volumes are small items, so thank you. Then we have one said, Ramon, good afternoon. Hi, Peter North here. Older Dove film star.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What? My wife and I enjoy your stream. Thank you, Peter Love. Ramon Obama Jr.
Okay. Wow. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the comments. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Tomorrow we're going to end this week deep diving a little more into systems. And I may have a little more time to talk about some components of marketing and sales. And we're going to have an amazing day today, an amazing day tomorrow, and an amazing weekend, because life is amazing. God is amazing. So I want you to continue to be amazing. Appreciate all of you. Love you. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. For all of you that are part of our business coaching program, our business community, make sure when you visit Facebook that want everybody on Facebook, how do they find the private community? Do they have, okay, you could put it, if you're on Facebook, if you are a member of our Blueprint Game Plan, and or if you're a member of our coaching program, when you're on Facebook, thank you. We already sent an email out, but just in case you missed the email, when you go to Facebook, I want you to do a search for the RP Business Community. We have a private Facebook community. We're using that page, that private Facebook group, to build our business community. We want to network. We want to build a network. We want to build a directory. We want to continue to see what we've seen just within the past few months of launching this one-year business coaching program, which is we want to see business owners collaborate together. We want to see business owners network together. And so we're starting with that exclusive private group. And we already have several business owners and entrepreneurs who are working together. Some of them are bartering. Some of them are using each other for certain services and products that they provide. And some of them are continuing to build relationships where they can actually create partnerships and go into the market with more inventory in their businesses, because now they have other experts on their team. So anytime you're on Facebook, I want you to search the RP Business Community, and basically when they search it, they're going to have to send an invitation, right, to join, and we'll look through it. Our administrative team will look through it and will accept you as long as you're a coaching client or a Blueprint client. And we're going to continue to build on that community, meaning that the camaraderie, the connectivity, the relationships, they're going to morph and expand and build into other things that many of us are doing. Like, I want this business community to be full of millionaires, people who are financially free, people who are wealthy, and people who love God and love God's people, and who got the resources to continue to love God's people by serving God's people on a different level. So we love y'all. Appreciate all of you so much for watching the show, for commenting, for giving us feedback. Have an amazing day. Same place, same time. We'll see you tomorrow right here.